Ooh.
The individual responsible for capturing this footage is recognized as Creed. Coincidentally, while strolling along a trail, Creed came across something rather unsettling and managed to capture it on camera. This incident occurred during the afternoon hours. An hour into his hike, Creed noticed an eerie occurrence that continues to haunt him. The once lively sounds of the woods abruptly ceased, enveloping the surroundings in an unsettling silence. Sensing an unsettling shift, Creed's attention was drawn to a bunny crossing the trail directly ahead, only to witness it freeze in place unexpectedly. Confused and slightly frightened, he instinctively reached for his phone and documented the peculiar moment.
He was right there.
A bizarre voice suddenly echoed all around Creed as he was leaving. You can hear someone asking, "Help me," in a muffled tone if you pay close attention. The bunny may have stopped in its tracks because of this unexpected speech, because it sensed possible danger approaching. It's also conceivable that the bunny's only reason for freezing was fear. No one else is visible when the spooky voice is heard, which has left viewers perplexed. Creed is still baffled as to who or what was speaking, even today. The significance of not opening the door to unfamiliar people or things at night can be seen in this experience. Lupus, a single mother with 3 kids, was able to capture video of an odd incident that happened at their front door. They had just awoken from a sound sleep when suddenly they saw a terrible thing. The family had been encountering strange and inexplicable phenomena within their home. They held the belief that these unusual occurrences were a result of residing in an area known for its association with witchcraft practices. On certain occasions, the family would catch glimpses of shadowy figures lingering near their house, giving the impression of being observed by an unseen presence. One night, the family was awakened by what appeared to be the sound of a cat meowing at their front door.
¿Quién eres? Tú no eres un gato.
Ay, ¿qué es eso?
Vete de aquí, ¿quién eres?
¿Qué es eso?
¿Quién eres? Tú no eres un gato. Te ordeno que te vayas de mi casa.
The mewing turns into an unsettling tone, suggesting an eerie mimicry by an unknown entity. Adding to the disturbance, a pale face becomes visible at the entrance when closely examined. It seems this being, whether human or otherworldly, aimed to deceive the family by feigning distress as a helpless cat, hoping to gain entry into their home. This chilling encounter serves as a reminder to exercise caution when confronted with unexpected visitors at your doorstep, as the other side may hold unforeseen dangers. The origin of this video remains unknown, but its content speaks for itself. A man, presumably paying a visit to the tomb of a once familiar acquaintance, is startled by the sudden emergence of muffled screams echoing from an unknown source. Attempting to trace the origin of the sound, he detects faint tapping noises emanating from an undisclosed location. It is only when he approaches a specific gravesite that the sound intensifies. It is at this chilling moment that the person behind the camera comprehends that the eerie sounds originate from within this very grave. However, as this realization dawns upon him, a muffled scream pierces through the air, leaving the man visibly shaken to his core. Could it be possible that someone is trapped within? Alternatively, as most viewers tend to believe, could this encounter be attributed to the spirit of a deceased individual attempting to communicate with the individual recording the video? The definite sound of footsteps mounting the stairway abruptly awakens a man who lives alone in his apartment at around 3:50 in the early morning. He walks cautiously toward the stairs to look for the noise's origin. The camera's recording captures the horrific events that follow. Aaron had recently learned upsetting information from the police about his downstairs neighbor, who had been missing for several weeks. Something evil was suggested by the foul odor filling the air and the swarm of flies encircling the neighbor's window. It was eventually discovered that a dead body inside his neighbor's flat was what had caused this unsettling scene. The neighbor's terrible death in his own home was confirmed by the authorities. This information profoundly disturbed Aaron, who lived right above the deceased. His thoughts were troubled by the continual reminder that his neighbor had perished just below his own living space, keeping him awake at night. At one time, though, he was awakened by more than just his thoughts. Aaron's senses are alerted at precisely 3:40 in the early morning as a foreboding creaking sound comes from the stairway. Aaron feels a chilling presence nearby, intensified by a sudden noise from the bathroom, as if someone is hiding inside. Strange happenings, like flickering lights and occasional footsteps, have plagued his apartment since his neighbor's demise. Overwhelmed, Aaron records the creepy occurrence, capturing something truly unsettling.
Fucking creepy. Here we go again. The fucking lights. Ooh. See? He's doing it again. I'm not gonna run. Oh shit!
Objects eerily shift and move as if manipulated by an unseen force, leaving Aaron deeply unsettled. Following that night, a profound sense of unease engulfed his home, and he remained clueless about how to rectify the situation. Overwhelmed and feeling helpless, Aaron reluctantly turns to the advice of one of his viewers as a last resort. According to them, performing a cleansing ritual involving burning sage and utilizing an egg would purge his dwelling of the haunting presence. Uncertain of the outcome, Aaron follows the suggestion, unaware that this choice would have unforeseen consequences.
Use what y'all said and put the egg in the middle of the room. The egg in the middle. Okay. It keeps going out. Okay, it's good. Okay. If anything is here, you are not welcome. Is it going out? Oh, it's good. You're not welcome here. You have to leave. You're not welcome. I really didn't want to light. You're not welcome here. You have to leave. There we go. Don't show no fears. You're not welcome here. You're not welcome in the corners. The thing is moving. Not welcome here. You have to leave, find your way out. I think that's enough. I think I just get into spirit mode.
As Aaron proceeds with the sage cleansing, the floor lamp situated in the corner inexplicably begins to tremble, seemingly of its own accord. Simultaneously, an object hanging above the door initiates a mysterious motion, catching his attention. However, the most peculiar occurrence unfolds when Aaron picks up the egg he had positioned on the floor and cracks it open, revealing something beyond his expectations.
Hopefully I have a bad spirit in here. Something.
To Aaron's dismay, a murky, dark substance pours out from the cracked egg, signaling an ominous indication. Alarmed viewers assert that such an appearance suggests the presence of something malevolent within his home. Deeply troubled by this revelation, Aaron decides to attempt another method using a different type of sage. Hoping that this alternative will bring about a definitive cleansing, he follows the advice of his viewers, leaving the windows open as instructed, and embarks on a second purification ritual, yearning for a resolution.
Okay. Here we go. So if there's a demon in here, you are not welcome. You have to leave. You're not welcome. Still smoky. It's barely lit. You know, people don't think that you're real. People actually think that you don't exist, but I want to show them. So show yourself. Don't be scared. Show yourself. Come out. Okay. Something's definitely showing itself. But it's okay because I got the sage and this. It's barely lit, but it's okay. It's still lit. I'm okay. I'm scared of this corner. See, here we go. Okay. Actually, I'll turn on this light. And I kind of don't want to turn around. Well, if you're here, you have to leave. Or do something to this egg. Do something to this egg. Move it. Maybe it left out the window or something. Okay, let's go do the egg so I can leave my apartment. There's nothing on my hand, nothing. I wanna get out of here. Okay, here you go. And again. I don't know why.
Eerie footsteps echo down the stairs, heightening the tension, while the cracked egg produces an even darker substance than before. Understandably, Aaron is overwhelmed with fear, and even his visiting friends are left perplexed by the inexplicable phenomena they witness firsthand.
So the TV turned off right now by itself. This has been happening too.
Dude, something like that, dude, you gotta, I feel like I've seen that before. You gotta, whenever since I was young, you gotta like call it out or something. Like, you just gotta call like, literally, bro, just like, is anybody here? Is anybody here? It's like, no, you just, anybody here, sir?
Just a few days later, another peculiar incident unfolds as the remote control mysteriously moves on its own, defying logic and without any visible strings or external manipulation. Aaron takes note of these inexplicable events and becomes convinced that supernatural forces are at play, as no rational explanation can account for them. Aaron remains determined to capture and share his encounters, hoping to find a solution. Certain videos of the paranormal, particularly those involving children, have a consistent ability to unsettle viewers. Despite seemingly innocent content, the following video falls into this unsettling category. The footage, recorded by a mother while playfully engaging with her son in bed, takes an unexpected turn that compels her to hastily grab her phone and start recording. As they play together, the child's attention becomes transfixed on a space in the room. Intriguingly, he then turns around and points directly at a picture of his deceased father. The subsequent events that unfold leave the mother utterly speechless, capturing a moment that defies explanation.
Who is it? Who is it? No. Who's that? Who's up there? Who is it? Who is it? Who? Who is it? Eva.
Because the boy kept pointing at the picture and shifting his gaze between it and the space, many viewers assumed that he was seeing his father's ghost. This interpretation gives the video a comforting aspect. However, it's still unclear if the child's account was based on reality or pure fantasy. Lauren's home has become a hub for unsettling paranormal encounters. From the doorbell mysteriously ringing on its own to her hair being tugged by an unseen force, strange events have plagued her since she moved in. Concerned for the safety of her dogs and herself, Lauren believes that an evil presence resides within her house, harboring malicious intentions.
Hey, when you come over?
I gotta wait for my work clothes to dry. And I'm coming.
Okay, I'm hungry.
I understand that. I can't just not leave without my work clothes.
Okay, that's fair. Well, do you want me to just make something here?
What do you have?
I mean, like pizzas or maybe chicken nuggets, nothing crazy.
Do you have ranch at your house?
No, can you bring your ranch?
Pretty much.
Come on.
Dude, my f***ing door just closed.
So the slam sound?
Yes! And it's locked.
What the fuck?
I just got locked out of my house.
Chilling there?
Yes! Nobody's here!
That's kind of scary. Where's the door?
Luna! Luna's inside by herself. I don't even see her in there. Hang on.
Take rash. Baby? Hello? She's touched it.
Luna! 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 Luna!
In a recent video, Lauren is conversing with her boyfriend on the porch when the front door abruptly slams shut with great force. Fearing for her dogs inside the house, she rushes to the back door and manages to enter. However, as she steps inside, the back door inexplicably closes on its own. Before she can make sense of the situation, the doorbell starts ringing without any apparent cause. At that moment, Laura's instincts screamed that this was yet another encounter with the paranormal, urging her to flee from the terrifying situation. Thankfully, she managed to escape unscathed, ensuring the safety of both herself and her dogs. The intensity of this frightful incident left her so shaken that she sought refuge at her boyfriend's place for a few nights, gathering the courage to return home only after several days had passed. However, upon her return, a particular night unfolded with an event that rendered Laura frozen with fear, unable to move or react. Regrettably, opening the window proved to be an ill-fated decision, as per the accounts of viewers. Whatever was tapping on the window had now gained entry into Lauren's room. Whether it is a stranger or a ghost remains unknown and shrouded in uncertainty. To add to the eerie ambience, a faint whisper can be discerned within Lauren's room mere seconds later, sounding eerily like a greeting of hey or hi. This unsettling incident has left Lauren contemplating whether it is time to move out. Viewers strongly advise her to do so, believing that a change of residence would be for the best. Until that happens, it appears likely that the paranormal activity in her home will persist and potentially escalate, as evidenced by previous videos. As with those previous occurrences, this latest incident remains a perplexing mystery, leaving viewers and Lauren alike searching for answers. Thank you for joining us until the end. You are brave if you have watched this far in the video. However, take caution not to let anyone in through your door, because you never know what their intentions may be.